Thank you for joining us today. I know we have people from different parts of the world, so saying good morning, good afternoon does not make sense. So I hope you are all having a good start to your day or good end of your day, or I hope you have a good rest of the day. But before we start, probably I think my screen, my audio, my camera are all working fine, and you can hear me well. Just probably you can put it in the chat, or probably you can. Yeah. So I think everything is working fine. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And before we begin today's session, I would like to take a moment to introduce our company. I know many of you who have already signed up know about Reactore, but thought probably I'll just take a minute before we dive into today's session as to mention a little bit about our company. So Reactore began its journey in 2013. We are a software development and digitalization solutions company. And our mission is to create innovative digital platforms that address real world problems, business challenges, and unlock the full potential of digital transformation. And today we are pleased to be joined by Peter Moss, our co-founder and global business development director, and Julian Nagel, our product director. Both Peter and Julian bring a wealth of experience across business strategy, operations, and enterprise technology, ensuring today's discussion is both insightful and grounded in practice. And what we did is to make things work seamless. Both Julian and Peter recorded their sessions, so we will be playing the sessions. So I hope that would not cause any kind of network difficulties that you would come across. And we are there with you across the entire session, and we will conclude today's session with a long Q&A round. So please post your questions in the panel down below here, and we will take all of them up at the end of the webinar. So with this, probably I'll request, with any further delay, to Peter to please kick off the session today. Thank you, everyone. Peter, over to you. Sorry for the glitch here. It looks like there's some issues happening with the platform. Just bear with us. We will be starting the session shortly.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Peter, and I'm one of the co-founders of Reactore, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to this session. Over the next hour or so, my colleague Julian and I will be taking you through how low-code platforms, and especially our platform Devon, can supercharge your digital transformation initiatives. What makes this session a bit different is that we're not just talking theory. At Reactore, we've been using Devon ourselves for many years to deliver world-class digitalization solutions to clients across the globe, from mining and manufacturing to logistics and beyond. So today we're going to share not only the platform's capability, but also real-world insights into how it's enabling scalable innovation, rapid app delivery, and stronger collaboration between business and IT teams. Here's a quick look at what we'll be covering in today's session. We'll begin by unpacking digital transformation, what it is, why it's critical in today's business environment, and the risks and opportunities it presents. Next, we'll explore low-code, clarifying what it actually means, how it can accelerate and enable digital transformation by bridging the gap between business and IT. From there, we'll introduce you to Devon, our powerful enterprise-grade low-code platform. We'll cover its standout features, integration capabilities, and the robust security that underpins it. Then we'll move into Devon in action, where we'll showcase real-world transformation stories and use cases delivered using Devon across a range of industries. We'll wrap up with the Getting Started section, outlining the practical steps and engagement models you can use to begin your low-code journey with our various adoption models. And finally, we'll open the floor to you with a live Q&A session, so please jot down your questions as we go. We'd love to hear your thoughts and dive deeper into anything that sparks your interest. All right, before we jump into platforms and tech talk, let's zoom out for a moment and talk about digital transformation itself. In the next few slides, we're going to break it down into three parts. First, what digitalization actually means beyond the buzzwords. Secondly, why it's no longer a nice to have, but a business imperative. And thirdly, the very real risks and opportunity it presents for organizations today. This will help frame the rest of the session as we explore how low-code can play a critical role in making digital transformation faster, smarter, and more sustainable. Some of you may know that during the 2010s, two of the world's largest shipping companies faced a shared crisis: volatile fuel prices, complex trade routes, outdated infrastructure that could not keep up with modern logistics demands. Both moved millions of containers a year. Both were told, digitize your operations or lose control of them. One company hesitated. They delayed upgrading legacy systems, focused solely on cost cutting, and left their operations largely manual. Their customer portal was clunky. Their digital strategy stayed stuck on paper. The other company took action. They launched real-time tracking tools, digitized customs paperwork, integrated blockchain, and built their own end-to-end logistics platform. In 2016, the first declared bankruptcy, stranding 500,000 containers at sea. The second redefined global logistics and became a leader in digital freight innovation. One failed to modernize, while the other became a digital platform with ships, not just a shipping company. The companies, the first was Hanjin, the second Maersk, and that's the shift. Success today isn't defined by how many assets you own, but how intelligently and digitally you run them in mining, logistics, and beyond. Operational excellence is now a data-driven, connected, and proactive pursuit. Let's talk about a term we've all heard, digitalization. It's everywhere. But what does it mean in practice? Often digitalization gets confused with digitization. Things like scanning documents, buying more software, or moving more data to the cloud. These are important steps, but they're just the tip of the iceberg. True digitalization goes much further. It's not just about dashboards or installing tools. It's about how you transform the way your business operates. At its core, digitalization empowers your workforce, giving people access to real-time data and systems they can actually use. It streamlines business processes through automation, eliminating bottlenecks, reducing errors, and speeding up cycle times. It enhances customer experiences, making interactions smarter, faster, and more personal. And importantly, it breaks down information silos, connecting systems so that your data works seamlessly across departments. So digitalization isn't just a buzzword. It's not a thing, it's a way of doing things. It's the difference between collecting data for compliance and using it to compete. And that's the opportunity in front of every organization today. So stop treating digital tools as add-ons and start using them to reshape how value is created. Now that we've unpacked what digitalization really means, let's look at what it delivers and what can go wrong if it's done poorly. The opportunities, however, are transformative. With real-time data and AI-powered insights, organizations can make faster, smarter decisions, shifting from reactive firefighting to proactive strategy. Automation cuts operational costs while improving accuracy and productivity, and both customers and employees benefit from smoother, more responsive digital experiences. Low-code platforms accelerate all of this, allowing teams to build and scale applications without needing heavy developer involvement. This means less time waiting and more time innovating. More importantly, these tools help businesses stay resilient, future-ready, adaptable, and able to evolve as markets and technologies shift. But there's another side to the coin, and the risks are very real. We've seen companies invest in tools that never get adopted, or solutions that sound great on paper but overwhelm teams in practice. Data ends up trapped in disconnected silos. Insights are lost, and digital fatigue sets in. Worse still, expensive, one-size-fits-all software often fails to scale or support AI. It becomes obsolete before it delivers real value. That's why transformation must be intentional. You don't just need modern tools, you need the right approach. Strategy, governance, and change management must walk together with technology. The good news, that's exactly where platforms like Devon come in. And with that being said, I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Julian to walk us through what low-code is and how Devon can accelerate digitalization and realize meaningful business value. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. That was a great and insightful introduction. So hello all. I'd like to extend a warm welcome and express my gratitude to each of you for taking the time to attend this webinar. My name is Julian, and today I'll be walking you through some of the key concepts underpinning low-code development and how it fits into the broader digital transformation landscape. So let's start by unpacking what low-code really is. Low-code refers to a development approach that enables teams to build powerful applications through visual interfaces, drag and drop components, and pre-built templates with minimal coding. It's designed to accelerate delivery while reducing dependency on hard-to-source development skills. No-code takes us even further. These platforms are aimed at users with zero coding background, allowing business teams to create workflows, dashboards, or internal tools with no developer input at all. It must be stated, though, that no-code platforms are geared towards simpler apps and not really well suited for enterprise-scale solutions. That is where low-code would play a larger role. Of course, it must be stated that we have what is termed now as pro-code, which is nothing but your traditional software developing or engineering methods. This is used by developers to build fully customized complex systems. It's essential for mission-critical applications, and low-code is really designed to complement, not to replace this. And that leads us to a fairly new concept, and this is the term citizen developer. It's a growing persona in today's businesses. It's really where non-technical users, such as in operations, HR, logistics, whatever you name it, who would use low-code or no-code platforms to create their own solutions, often in collaboration with IT. And finally, I would be remiss not to include the role of AI. AI is being embedded directly into low-code platforms as we speak, from code generation and error detection to smart recommendations. It's enhancing what's possible and really making development more intuitive, more efficient, and more accessible to everyone involved. In short, low-code isn't a niche tool. It's reshaping who can build, how fast they can do it, and what's possible within a modern digital business. So let's take a look at why low-code adoption isn't just growing, it's exploding. In fact, up to 75% of new apps will be built using at least partially low-code platforms by 2030. That's not just speculation, it's a shift that's already well underway. And it's not just about speed. Low-code is enabling up to 90% faster development cycles. Faster development cycles ultimately directly correlates to cost. And this really means that what used to take months now takes weeks or less. So what's driving this acceleration? Yes, AI is playing a big role, but it's also the rise of the citizen developer. Tech-savvy subject matter experts in their business domains who are now actively part of the software development lifecycle. So today, for every professional developer in large enterprises, there are an estimated 4 business users building apps with no low or no code. Even more impressive, 24% of these users started with 0 programming experience. And they're not just building apps, they're driving innovation. Businesses that promote collaboration between citizen and pro developers using low-code platforms are reporting a 33% increase in innovation scores. This is down to the impressive fusion between technical and business. This isn't a niche trend. 84% of enterprises are already using low-code or no-code tools to speed up digital transformation and fill the developer gaps. And it's getting smarter. AI, for example, is now writing 20 to 30% of code at companies like Microsoft and Google. And this is expected to only increase as the tools mature and as time progresses. So with AI-enhanced low-code platforms, we're seeing faster delivery, fewer errors, and smarter automation, all without writing traditional code. The market is following. By 2030, the global AI low-code platform space is expected to surpass 100 billion with a very impressive CAGR. So the bottom line, really, it's a combination of speed, accessibility, AI, and proven enterprise adoption, which is making low-code not just a development strategy, but a business imperative. Now that we've understood the foundations of low-code, let's talk about where it fits and why the approach matters. On the left, we have the traditional off-the-shelf software approach. These are usually pre-built packages or solutions that may look convenient, but they often come with some negative trade-offs. They can, for example, lack the functionality or business actually needs. They are difficult or expensive to customize, and are often limited in how well they integrate with other systems. The middle column represents the strength of the low-code approach, irrespective of which platform you use. Not all platforms are created equal, but I will speak in terms of the principles of it. So with low-code, you can build tailored applications quickly, adjust them easily over time, and usually be able to connect seamlessly with your existing systems. This flexibility is key to enabling real digital transformation. Of course, on the right, we have Devon, and our low-code platform is designed from the ground up for enterprise-grade adaptability. Devon really provides a full-stack application development environment, meaning you can build anything from a simple dashboard to an end-to-end business solution. We also consider Devon to be a high-value solution. It has high-value capabilities at what we believe is a very competitive price point. So the value quotient is very good. And the ability to integrate with any data source is something that we have built in from the ground up. So whether it's an ERP or a sensor or a third-party AI, Devon can talk to it. So in short, Devon combines the power of custom development with the speed and agility of low-code, all without compromising all without the compromises, really, of the rigid off-the-shelf software solutions. Thank you. So now that we've explored the fundamentals of low-code and its role in digital transformation, let's bring the focus to Devim, our enterprise-grade low-code platform. What sets Devim apart really is its breadth. From powerful integration capabilities to its user-friendly and versatile application development features to its robust security and governance framework, Devim is truly built to handle complex business requirements across all industries. With that being said, let's explore the core modules that make Devim such a powerful platform. Starting with the App Studio Interface Composer. This is where your ideas come to life. Whether you're building an admin dashboard or a 3D digital twin of your operations, or even a mobile app, the Interface Composer gives you an intuitive drag and drop environment. No heavy coding required. It speeds up prototyping and empowers both citizen and pro developers to collaborate seamlessly. Next, we have the Workflow Builder. Business processes are often complex, but Devim's Workflow Builder helps you visualize, automate, and optimize those processes with full transparency. It includes Jira-aware process steps, making it ideal for field-heavy industries like mining, logistics, and manufacturing. DevOps Console is for IT leaders and DevOps professionals. This is where deployment and orchestration becomes painless. Roll out updates, manage versioning, and scale apps with ease, all from one place. It brings enterprise-grade control to your low-code projects. On the administration and security side, we have Admin Console. The Admin Console acts as your control center for managing platform and app users and all things security related. It's where you register and manage applications and microservices built within Devim. From here, you can configure user roles, manage access permissions, and enforce security policies, ensuring your solutions remain secure, compliant, and scalable as they grow. When it comes to data, we have a great feature called Data Modeler. It's really a domain-driven database modeler, which allows businesses and technical teams to create domain-driven data models using drag and drop, using a visual canvas. User input forms can be auto-generated to get the fundamental building blocks of your app running almost immediately. Every solution runs on logic and KPIs and algorithms and calculations and formula. And for that, we have created something called Fluent Services Builder. This is when you need more than just drag and drop functionality. This is where you build custom KPIs, domain services, and rules that are unique to your business or operation. It brings power and flexibility without sacrificing speed, and ensures your application has all the required business logic to meet your specific needs. Finally, we have our Devim DevBot. This really is Devim's secret weapon. It really includes AI-assisted capabilities which are built into the platform, which guide the users as they build, and also provide some generative capabilities, whether it's auto-suggesting logic, creating domain models or database tables, flagging inefficiencies or suggesting the correct control to use in an interface. It's all designed to accelerate delivery timelines and reduce the heavy lifting. It's like having an expert co-pilot for every app you build. Together, these modules form the foundation of Devim's full stack, enterprise-grade low-code platform. Whether you're building data-driven dashboards, orchestrating complex workflows, or deploying AI-powered services, Devim provides an end-to-end environment designed for agility, scalability, and speed. And importantly, while Devim does function as a unified sort of IDE or suite, several of these modules or features can be used independently or with their own technology, such as our UI Composer, API gateway capability, or even our DevOps console, which gives teams the flexibility to drop what they need when they need it. This modular design really ensures that Devim can seamlessly complement existing IT ecosystems or serve as a one-stop platform for digital transformation. Now let's talk about one of the most critical pillars of any enterprise platform, security and compliance. Starting on the left, role-based control, RBAC, and SSO. Devon really provides fine-grained access control with fully integrated single sign-on and session token management, which really means that your users get a seamless experience while your IT team maintains complete control over who can access what and when. Cloud security and web firewalls. Whether you're deploying Devon in a public or private cloud, our platform supports secure hosting environments with enterprise-grade firewall protections and dedicated security services, ensuring your apps and data are always safeguarded. SAST and DAST integration. Security testing is embedded right into our CI/CD pipeline. We use static and dynamic application security testing tools to detect vulnerabilities early, before your application ever goes live, which really just saves you time and avoids costly rework and risky exposure. For encryption and certificates, all data in transit and at rest is protected with end-to-end encryption using industry standard SSL TLS protocols, ensuring data integrity and confidentiality across the board. Lastly, I'd like to say we're very proud to say that Reactore and Devon undergoes regular external VAPT assessments and is aligned with ISO 27001 standards, which really provides you and us the confidence that your digital initiatives will always be secure, compliant, and enterprise ready. The final section for the Devon overview will look at how Devon empowers your in-house development teams to extend and scale solutions beyond the low-code environment. Now, this slide might be geared more towards the professional developers, but what the SDK really is, Software Development Kit, is a means for professional developers to take our platform and extend it to meet any particular technical needs. So at the core of this is the core of our SDK, which is really a robust tool set that allows your developers to build and deploy microservices using familiar languages like Java or Scala. Whether you're hosting on Devon Cloud or on your own infrastructure, the SDK ensures your services are always accessible at runtime. The Devon Microservices Framework, or DMF, simplifies development with predefined interfaces, build tools like Gradle and Maven, and clear instructions to help teams get started quickly. We've also made sure to support flexibility. Through the Proto API, developers can look forward to using other languages beyond Java and Scala. This means that your development teams can build using the tools and practices they're already familiar with. So whether you're developing custom logic, integrating with external systems, or building entirely new capabilities, the Devon SDK ensures that the platform remains open, extensible, and truly enterprise-grade.
So we move to the next session. I think you can take some time to put down your questions. We've already received a few from some of the attendees. So look forward to collating all of them so that we can take them up one by one at the end of the Q&A session.
Great. Now let's move into the heart of today's discussion, Devon in action. In this segment, we'll explore real-world examples where Devon has transformed operations across industries, from mining to logistics and compliance. You'll see how our platform is deployed to solve complex challenges, streamline workflows, and deliver measurable business impact in rapid time. These case studies are not just success stories, they are proof points of how Devon enables rapid, intelligent, and scalable digital transformation. Now, before I get into the case studies, as we look at the solutions on screen, it's important to note that these are just a few examples of what's being built with Devon, but they're by no means the limit. What truly sets Devon apart is its cross-cutting capabilities that can be applied to virtually any business domain, from seamless data integration across disparate systems to business process automation that transforms how operations run behind the scenes. Devon also empowers you to deliver customized reports and analytics, build smart AI-infused applications, and roll out map-based or terrain dashboards for location-specific intelligence. And whether you're visualizing processes through 3D digital twins or deploying mobile apps for your workforce, Devon provides the tools to do it all, faster and smarter. So let's take a moment to ground this discussion in the real world. by looking at two impactful case studies where Devon was deployed to solve critical business challenges. There'll be two slides. Initially, first, I'll be discussing these two case studies. Thereafter, I will take you through to another two case studies with varying business outcomes and components. So the very first case study is a large mining group, 27 mines, in fact, across multiple states and provinces. This mining client was struggling with disconnected processes across land management, production, and contractors management and safety and compliance. There was no centralized system in place, and as a result, they were relying heavily on manual workflows, leading to delays, inaccuracies, data silos, and frequent contractor billing disputes. What we did with Devon was to deliver a seamlessly integrated platform that plugged into their existing export systems. We also provided real-time dashboards and custom reporting tools, enabling the operations team to gain visibility and control. The results were immediate and measurable. A 30% reduction in turnaround time, 10% boost in equipment utilization, a 50% reduction in billing disputes with contractors. Now moving on to the second case study, legal compliance audits. In another slightly different example, a client in the regulatory space faced outdated paper-based audit processes. These led to incomplete assessments and delayed reporting, posing serious compliance risks. Using Devon, we implemented an intelligent audit scheduling engine supported by a mobile offline capable app for field teams. The platform also automated compliance reporting, making the entire process seamless and transparent. The impact here was just as powerful. 90% improvement in schedule compliance, 70% faster audit cycles, and a 15% uplift in overall legal compliance. The common thread here, faster digitalization, smarter processes, and measurable outcomes. So let's continue showcasing Devon's real-world impact with two more case studies. In the third case study, I'll be discussing a dangerous underground mine. Dangerous because it is deep and underground and because of the many hazards that underground miners face. Now, Reactore does a lot of work in the mining space, and it's a domain we're very strong in. And this one was served as a mission-critical example of how we've made a big difference at a client. So this mining operation faced serious challenges due to fragmented systems and poor safety visibility. They faced a situation where they had disparate standalone systems and tools, which delayed responses and safety responses, and increased the risk for underground personnel. There was also production inefficiencies due to lack of line of sight and also lack of real-time, trustworthy integrated data. Devon stepped in to unify all of these operational systems by creating a single source of truth. We created a 3D digital twin that gave live visibility into the underground mining operation and activities, providing information relating to production and safety. The results were powerful. Decision-making speed increased by 80% due to accessibility to real-time data. Safety incidents were reduced by 12%, and predicted productivity grew by 5%. Now, if you understand mining, 5% is a significant number for productivity increase. So that's a notable success story for Devon and a true example of digitalization in action. In the final case study, I'll now focus on a large-scale distribution operation. In this logistics-focused use case, the client sort of struggled with operational inefficiencies, safety risks for visiting trucks and drivers, and the rising instances of fraud and error. Using Devon's platform, we created a centralized dashboard and also integrated with various IoT devices such as RFID, boom gates, cameras, etc., and weigh bridges to bring full control and transparency into the operations. The outcomes were very, very impactful, and the client enjoyed a 35% increase in daily throughput, as well as a 100% improvement in driver safety, and a 25% reduction in turnaround times for their visiting truck cycles. So these are just two more examples of how Devon transforms operations at scale across many industries, from deep underground mines to busy distribution yards. There are many more case studies in which we have great success stories. I wish I had the time to show you more, but I'll now move on to the next section of the presentation, focusing on how Devon can be adopted. Thank you very much. All right, so now that I've hopefully convinced you, or at least planted the seed, that low code and Devon specifically is a real game changer for your business, you're probably wondering, how do we actually get started? Well, that's exactly what this next part is about. I'll be outlining 3 flexible engagement models designed to help you adopt Devon in a way that suits your pace, your team, budget, and your transformation goals. Whether you want to run a pilot, build a flagship solution, or empower your internal teams with our platform, we've got an approach to match. Let's take a look. Let's begin with engagement model 1, which we prefer or refer to as the partnership or joint venture model. This approach is ideal when you're looking for a strategic collaboration rather than a simple client-vendor relationship. This would usually start with a discovery meeting, and this is where we would listen carefully and understand your context and assess your high-level objectives. Once aligned, we will move into a mutual non-disclosure agreement, creating a trusted foundation to share insights and explore the art of the possible, confidentially and transparently, of course. From there, we work together to define clear objectives. These are both technical and commercial in nature and tailored to your client needs, operational pain points, or market opportunities. We would then formalize the relationship through a memorandum of understanding, outlining roles, contributions, commercial models, and any other shared IP or delivery responsibilities. Finally, we would adopt an iterative model to monitor, measure, adapt, and evolve the solution, ensuring the partnership remains mutually beneficial, agile, and aligned with changing market needs. This model is especially suited to consulting firms, resellers, or technology partners looking to co-develop and co-deliver industry-specific solutions. And it must be said that Reactore has already embarked on several such partnerships with various international companies to great success and great effect. And we would welcome anyone in the audience to approach us if you feel that this would be a good fit for your business. The second engagement model is ideal for organizations that prefer to focus on outcomes rather than building in-house. In this model, Reactore takes the lead, using our proven Devon platform and delivery expertise to bring your vision to life. We would initially begin by working closely with you to deeply understand your requirements. This is a fundamental and very important step to Reactore. This includes workshops, process reviews, and solution scoping, ensuring we have a full picture of your operational challenges and transformation goals. Next, we would present a solution design and cost estimation, covering both the technical architecture and the effort required. This would usually include user interface, business analysis, integrations, and any legacy system considerations. Once aligned, our team would move swiftly into the rapid solution building phase. Using Devon's low-code engine, we can deliver working prototypes and production-ready systems in record time, often and sometimes within weeks. Following that, we would move into the implementation, training, and enablement phase. Our goal here is to ensure your team can operate and maintain the solution with full confidence. We would finally then track and evaluate the performance of the system post-launch. This would allow us to measure, improve, and support you over time. You benefit not just from delivery, but from ongoing optimization. You would effectively have us as your digitalization partner. And this model would be best suited to time-sensitive projects or clients who want best-in-class delivery with minimal internal lift. For the final model, engagement model 3, is really for clients who prefer to build independently using Devon's powerful low-code platform. This is a great fit for organizations with internal developers, digital teams, or strong citizen developers who want to take full control of their transformation journey at their own pace and cost. You would start by simply signing up for a Devon SaaS subscription, which gives you access to our full suite of tools. Start for free and try before you commit to any commercial subscriptions. The application suite of tools would include the application composers, the workflow building, integration capabilities, and the deployment utilities. To support your journey, we've built an ecosystem of extensive resources. You can build an experiment for free on our Devon Builder portal. We provide detailed documentation and implementation guides, which will be available on our online repository of documentation. You'll also find quick start videos and tutorials on our specific channel. And for real-time queries or assistance, you can of course reach out through in-app support or email, or if you get stuck, you can always engage with our vibrant Devon community, where Devon developers and citizen developers and professional developers alike collaborate to make the most out of the Devon platform. This model will still give you access to our team, whether for occasional support, onboarding help, or if to switch to a co-development model if you need something later or a challenge that can't be met immediately. This is the most flexible, cost-effective entry point for Devon, which allows your team to innovate freely, reduce vendor dependency, and accelerate delivery with your own internal ownership. And that brings to a conclusion our webinar. I would like to thank you all for joining us today. I really hope that this session has been informative and inspired you as to the possibilities that low-code brings to the table and how revolutionary it can be in achieving digitalization aspirations. Whether you choose to build independently, partner with us, or collaborate through some sort of joint venture model, the possibilities are endless. If you'd like to explore further, I would encourage you to connect on one of our websites, reactore.com. Here you can discover more about our broader digitalization solutions and services. Or if you're looking to get started with Devon, you can go to devon.com and you can start your journey there. So once again, on behalf of the entire Reactore and Devon team, thank you again. And we look forward to powering your next transformation. I would now like to invite anyone from the audience to provide any feedback or questions that you may have. And with that, I'll hand over to my colleague. Over to you, Shitradip.
Thank you, Peter and Julian, for such a wonderful session. I the audience really enjoyed, and it was really insightful to understand how a local platform like Devon can digitally transform rapidly enterprises, business operations, and others that they really intend to do. So, with that being said, I think we have received a fair amount of questions, and I would like to probably read out some of them. So there's one question related to security, and so we are being asked which are the security layer Devon contains that data shared on the application do not breaches from one user to another user, especially from hackers. So Julian, would you love to take this question?
Sure, thank you, Shitradip, and greetings to everyone. I'm speaking live now, no recording, so I'll be happy to answer that question. So I think in one of the slides, we did spend some time on security, as it's a common question, IT and OT security. So we have many layers that addresses the security concerns in the question raised. That first being the role-based access control. So within the application security console, we can define user roles, and we can assign low-level CRUD, create, read, update, delete, and even data level permissions to the users. So we can segregate what each user can see. Beyond that, that's of course protected by SSO-enabled multi-factor authentication and password authentication as well as data at rest and data in transit encryption. We obviously are ISO 27001 accredited, and we obviously do VAPT testing as well every year, and we do maintain the latest and best practice when it comes to IT and OT security practices. Hopefully that answers the question. Feel free to submit a follow-up if I didn't address it.
Thank you, Julian. I hope that answers the question. Next question is also related to security. We have got a lot of security-related questions. It asks how Devon created applications are safe from different hacking tools. I think this is quite similar to what you just answered, Julian. Would you like to take that up again?
Yes, correct. Essentially, it's the layered approach. Obviously, where the application is hosted, we provide strict logical separation of custom environments to prevent data leakage or unauthorized access. We have secure APIs and integration, data encryption as mentioned, authentication and authorization. We also maintain audit trails and logs for every everything that changes in terms of the database and the system available to the admin users. These can be flagged should there be any untoward actions. Also have some policy enforcement, such as POPIA and for South Africa at least, and GDPR for Europe. And of course, on-premise private cloud or air-gap installations are supported in regulated environments where security is even more stringent. So yes, we do take security seriously. As mentioned, we do the secure SLDC and regular penetration testing, which obviously is vulnerability scans, etc., which it addresses the vulnerability of our system. And this is not something we just do and forget. It's something we maintain and update all the time. It's a moving target. So yeah, I think that definitely covers the security questions. We do take it seriously, and it's a big part of our, not just our platform, but the way we approach and our protocols and the way we work as a company.
Thank you, Julian. Here's one interesting question. This question that asks probably, can we build solutions with our internal team, or do we need Reactor's help every time to build one?
That's a great question.
Peter,
Sorry if I'm hogging all the answers, the responses. I've seen that I'm unmuted. So it's an interesting question. And as per the engagement models, it is very much possible for companies to take up a Devon subscription and build solutions independently. But it does come with some reality checks and some caveats. So there is, of course, going to be a learning curve with any new tool that you use. And while citizen developers, I've promoted them in this presentation, they play a huge role, particularly for their contributions on the business side, and they themselves might be technical. It is encouraged to have some sort of technical expertise in the organizational company when building more complex apps. That's not to say that we've not had partners or clients or subscribers who have built solutions independently. Devon has been designed so that third-party external companies can subscribe and build solutions themselves. We provide documentation, user guides, videos, there's a community. But as I said, there is going to be a learning curve. You're not going to get immediate gratification and return. And we are also there to help and support. We don't have to do the entire build ourselves, but we can, of course, supplement and solve problems maybe as they arise with our customer success departments. So yes, we can build it for you, or you can build it yourself. As we infuse AI more into the platform and improve and increase our user guide library and videos, so does the learning curve become less steep for external users to build the applications using Devon.
Thank you. Thank you, Julian. Here's another interesting question. So one of our attendees have mentioned we already have an ERP system and several other systems. Can Devon integrate with them? And there's also a related question. I'll read that out as well. I think you can take both of them up together. How does this platform handle large-scale enterprise application integrations, as well as integration with legacy systems?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. And at the core of Devon's architecture, we from the ground up have ensured that architecturally it's a very integration-friendly platform. And yes, we can integrate with existing legacy or modern enterprise ERP systems, specialized systems as well. And there's a variety of ways we do that. It can be through your traditional REST APIs or various protocols that we may support. You can do server-to-server integrations, SQL queries, views, industrial protocols like Modbus, MQTT. We have a whole library of connectors and integration capabilities that are at our disposal to connect with other systems. In fact, all of the projects that Reactore works on with Devon, 90% of them involve some sort of integration, and in fact, at least a couple. And they're ranging from sensors or instruments to ERP systems. And we're able to do that at small or large enterprise scale, as the system has been architected to scale and match these particular use cases, particularly in the mining domain where we do a lot of work, and their integrations play a big role in the solutions we deploy as per the use cases I explained earlier.
Thank you, Julian, for answering that. Oh, there's another question. Does Devon support AI or automation in any way? I think we saw when Julian was talking about Devon DevBot. Julian, would you like to probably speak a little bit more about the DevBot features that we have on the platform? I think that would be a good
Sure.
answer to this question.
For sure. The short answer to that question is yes, we do support AI as well as automation. So in terms of AI, obviously there's AI to help build applications. Agentic AI is becoming more and more commonplace in these realms. And we have our DevBot, which is improving every month as we are training it on our data and adding new features. And yes, so it is supported for building applications. That's only half of the value. The second half, what I believe in, is applied AI and using applied AI in the solutions themselves, making unstructured data queries using LLMs, maybe visual camera analytics or OCR, for example. Using these applied AI tools inside the solutions which are built by Devon is a possibility and a reality. So the answer is yes. Automation without AI, that's already been possible with Devon. We have what is called a workflow engine for business process modeling, BPM. And I did mention it very briefly in our features. We have a module dedicated to workflow orchestration, where you can visually create a process flow which either emulates your physical process in your business. So operation could be a logistics flow as product moves from stage to stage, or it can be an abstract process, which is not defined physically. It could be just a process that a company follows, say, in a department. And that workflow engine can be imbued and embedded with your applications and can invoke automations, generate notifications when something occurs, trigger something, switch something on and off, submit a report automatically. So yes, automation is a very big part of it. And I think one of the case studies I mentioned automation for the logistics company, where we managed to increase the amount of visiting trucks from 1,500 trucks to almost 4,000 trucks a day using automation. So that's digitalization in practice.
Thanks again, Sholin. So there's one more question. I think I can't answer that. Probably give some rest to Julian. He has been talking for so long. So I think this is a question I think we have received in different forms. So I'll just read it out. So we see that we offer a free trial. Is it free forever? So yes, we do offer a free trial, and that's by default a 90-day free trial where you can build your app. During this trial, you get access to all our help docs, our help videos, tutorials, and support. And but deploying comes at a cost. Now, for the early bird webinar registrations that we have received for this webinar, people who have registered before the 21st of May, you will have free access to a platform as long as you're building the app. And deploying again will incur costs based on the app and the different kinds of objects that you are going to use. For the other registrations that we have received, the registrations you can probably get an extended free trial of around 6 months to 1 year. And like in the other cases, you will have to again pay when you plan to deploy your app. So as long as you are not deploying it, you are free to build apps and you can explore the platform further. I think that answers the question of people who have posted here. So I'll move on to the last question, and I think with that we will close this session. So here's another question that is also interesting, and I guess Julian covered most of it when he was talking about the case studies, but I'll still read it out. How does this platform handle large-scale enterprise application projects? Can it integrate seamlessly with existing systems? I think in part, Julian has answered the second part before, but Julian, if you could please speak about the first question and answer that, that would be great.
Sure, thank you, Shatrajit. Yeah, I think as mentioned, inherently Devon does support integration with legacy systems and enterprise ERP systems. I'm not sure if you would like me to elaborate on anything beyond that. And maybe you can reiterate the first part of the question again. So
so the question was,
repeating
how
myself.
does this platform handle large-scale enterprise application developments with complex workflows?
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so Devim can work on a very large scale. I think the case study I mentioned, the one mine had 27 sites with an array of different dashboards and business processes. So essentially, you build it brick by brick. The way that in Africa they talk about eating an elephant, metaphorically speaking, of course, you piece by piece. So you essentially map out all the business processes and scale the application as needed. And you can, of course, scale the application on the DevOps side in terms of the server infrastructure as needed. But you can also add additional microservices and KPIs and scale the application almost organically as the need arises. And you start small, grow to medium, and then scale to the right size. So it can solve these problems. Scaling is not an issue. Size of systems is not an issue. Whether it's small or big, Devim has done it all before in the past. And hopefully that answers the question, Trip. I did see a pop-up for another question relating to cost of ownership. I think that one isn't being covered. Just read it now.
Yes,
Maybe I
Shurin.
should.
Yes,
Sure.
yes, Shurin. I'll read it out probably.
And I see another one's popped up about, is Devim limited to one industry? While you read that question out, I'll answer this one very quickly. The very short answer is no,
Sure.
It's not limited to one industry. Devim is an agnostic platform. We have built a solution called Mine One with Devim. So that is geared for the mining industry, but that doesn't mean that Devim is locked into the mining industry. Devim can be used for any industry. It's designed to be completely agnostic. It is very strong in industrial use cases, I'll be honest, but it's not limited to only industrial use cases. You can build anything with Devim. Sorry, Shuchlip, I think you may be ready to ask the question.
Yeah. Yes. How does this platform compare in total cost of ownership versus traditional development? I think that's a fantastic question. Can it truly accelerate digital transformation while maintaining quality?
That is a very good question. And it obviously depends on what the need is and what you want to build and what is the scale, what are the resources at hand. So TCO, you're looking at three options. As I put in the presentation, you're looking at off-the-shelf software. You're looking at then the alternatives, which is to go traditional software development or using a low-code approach. Many companies use a hybrid. They'll use low-code with professional development. All the boilerplate routine development they'll do with a low-code application, and they'll do the more advanced stuff with traditional pro-code. But I feel the case for a lower TCO for low-code platforms is very compelling, given the cost and the skills, the demand for professional developer skills. With the low-code platform, obviously you're accelerating software development exponentially. Some people claim 7 to 8 times. I think one of the KPIs I mentioned, which was all cited in the presentation, said that up to a 90% increase in productivity and output in dealing with backlog for developers. So at the end of the day, time is money. And if you're developing quicker, even if the quality might not be as good as natively developed apps, there may be a 10% sacrifice in quality. The fact that you're iterating 5 to 6 times quicker means that you can correct these issues and build the plane while it's flying, so to speak. So the net TCO, when all is said and done, is very compelling for low-code. And I think the industry, the way that low-code is being adopted, speaks for itself. Businesses will gravitate towards value. If something is going to have a lower TCO, then businesses will gravitate towards that. And clearly, as per the trends which I discussed in the presentation, many businesses are now going towards low-code. In fact, they don't even know that they're using low-code. They're using AI tools, maybe. It's actually another form of low-code in disguise. And low-code, AI-infused low-code platforms definitely produce a much lower TCO compared to the more traditional, we're going to start calling it, quote-unquote, old-fashioned software development methodologies. So yes, it's a strong, yes, that the TCO will be low for low-code. And then similarly for off-the-shelf, I need to mention maybe off-the-shelf software. It may be tempting for a business just to quickly go for with respect, great platform, of course, a SAP, for example, ERP, and implement it as long as it would take to implement such a large-scale system. And yes, you'll get immediate gain. But when you're looking at off-the-shelf versus low-code, look beyond total cost of ownership. Look at value. And look at low-code, investing in the low-code approach as an investment in the medium to longer term. Because with low-code, you have more control over what is built, what you're using. It meets particular needs, and business needs evolve over time. I think Peter indicated that businesses that don't evolve have the risk of existential crises. So the fact that you can future-proof your digitalization investments with a low-code platform approach, I think has a greater value proposition if you put aside the lens of TCO and more about value compared to off the shelf. It was a very long answer, but I think it was a very good question. I think it deserved a more deeper dive into that topic. So whoever asked that question, thank you. It was a great one.
Thank you so much, Julian. I think you have lifted up the heavier set of questions. Thank you so much, and also for today's wonderful session. I think with this, we will close the Q&A session and also today's webinar. Thank you everyone for joining us. But before we say goodbye, we would share all the details as to how you can get access to Devum and try it out yourselves in a formal email. And we will also share with you the link to access the webinar recording so that you can refer it anytime as you look at Devum and how you can explore Devum and what you can build with Devum. So with that, good day to everyone. Thank you once again for joining us. So we will be planning more webinar sessions going forward, and we will keep posted. Follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram, and I'm sure you will get to see when we have the next webinar. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you all for attending and appreciate the time for listening to the webinar. Take care.
Thank you once again, Julian. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everyone.